Hey guys, Dev Horn here at WeBuyHouses.com. It's time for Cash Offer Masterclass episode number 16. Thanks for joining me today. Let's look at another deal from Fazio. This is in Denison, Texas. Where is Denison, Texas? Let's look at it on a map here real quick. Denison, Texas, on the map, opening maps. It is north of Dallas, over here, above Sherman. It's called the Sherman-Denison area, and because it's its own little pocket of humans up there, it is really a nice place. I like Sherman. I like the whole area. Whitesboro. There's some cool stuff out here. Gainesville. This is a nice area. If you don't want to live in the city, and you live in kind of like the donut around the city, Denison, Sherman, all that stuff's pretty cool. It's a nice area. All right, let's jump into this. We've got this deal from Fazio. I have no relationship with Fazio. If you have any interest in it, reach out to Jade Vaughn at 214-646-9646. I only mention that because, I feel indebted to them because I use their content. And this one is a very interesting deal. And I did a little pre-work on this, and I think it's a good deal. So let's jump into it. Like I said, Denison, Texas. The house kind of looks like Noah's Ark or something, like a houseboat or something. There's something going on there with the way the dormers are really not dormers. They're part of the second story. It doesn't matter. It looks great. And as we jump into it, we're going to look at a few things. Obviously, the address. It's 152 Riverboat Drive in Denison. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, built in 1986. So it's not that old. Pretty good size house at 2150, and it sits on almost 1 acre. They've got the ARV at 287,500. And are selling it for $139,500. And one of the things I love about Fazio is they do what I call the big 5. They call them right out there for you: roof, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, foundation. These are the things beyond the cosmetic. Like, we're going to look at this house, it needs a bunch of cosmetic work. We know that. We're going to go into it with that understanding. That's what we do. We buy houses that need a lot of cosmetic work. But you really got to know if the roof or HVAC or plumbing, electrical, or foundation have major issues, because if they do, they can kill your deal. They can kill any of these things. Can cost you 10 grand, and so you got to be really, really careful. And what I like about them is if they don't think there's anything wrong, they say no known issues. And if they think there is, they say, do your due diligence. You've seen that on the prior videos. So that's really one of the reasons I use Fazio's stuff here is, first of all, it's very good. They are a great wholesaler. And number 2, if you're a wholesaler, this teaches you what you need to be doing to sell your deal to a cash buyer. And so let's jump into this. I've done some work, and this is the first thing I found interesting. When I went out and did a little looking around, the Zestimate is low at $210, only $98 a square foot. I'm going to tell you, my friends, there's nothing around Dallas-Fort Worth that's $98 a square foot. So I'm a little suspicious of this value. And then, sure enough, when I looked over at Realtor, what did I see? There's our little house, and they estimate it $308. And when I looked at Property Radar, which I can't show because of the PII, $294 on Property Radar, $308 on Realtor, $210 on the Zestimate. Kind of a big variety of numbers there, but you know what I feel? I feel like this 287 is okay. It's okay because I've got over 300 on Realtor and almost 300 on Property Radar. Now, one thing I'll tell you guys about ARV right now, in Texas, I expect a significant decline in property values in the next 12 months. I expect 8% drop in property values. And so everything I look at, I might say this is a great ARV based upon the last 12 months. But the next 12 months, I think, are going to be a downward slide in property values. So one of the things I'm kind of looking for is to buy properties at 8% less than the numbers are telling me right now, because I think in a year from now that property is going to be worth 8% less. And that's true for all properties in Texas. So, okay, let's jump into this. Let's jump in. Oh, wait, okay, we talked about that. We looked at the calculator, got the address in there, got the square feet in there, and we're at 288. So that, they had 287.5, and we at $134 a square foot. We're at 288. We're gonna go with that right there as our ARV. We feel good about that. And so let's jump into the photos. And you know what? Very excited. Fazio gave us some videos, my friends. Let's see what they got. No one's touched that grass in a few years, right? Those might be like fence poles for the chain link fence. Okay, so we're walking around. We saw the back. Here we are in the front. Got a big tree there. It's almost an acre. It's a pretty good sized piece of land. Common to see this if you get outside of the city. Instead of the quarter acre lot, you get the acre lot. And that's what they got here. It's a lot to mow. I had an acre lot. It was a lot to mow. I'm going to go ahead and tell you it sucked. If you could pay people to mow it, it's fine, but it's like a couple $100 a week. All right, we're in the house. What are we seeing here? We're seeing full cosmetic. Seeing old everything. Nice look at that. He's proud of that. It should be. That looks good. Garbage or sink disposal unit. The kitchen. One thing that you and I will see here in just a moment is the weird thing they did with the texture, and it's unfortunate. It's the only real weird thing I found about this house. Everything's old. Like, that's old. That tub may need to go. I mean, like, if you're going to come in here and really rip this thing out, now we're in one of the master. Looking around there. Okay. Looks pretty good. And they had one more. Let's see what they got.
There's a vent right here. I think it's like a return.
Another one of the bedrooms. That's a bath off that bedroom, which is nice. Bath and a shower in there. All needs to be redone, of course. It's no big deal. I mean, when we're looking at these things, the cosmetic stuff, the redoing a bath, it's just none of that's a big deal. You're expecting that, right? Like, honestly, you should get excited when you see things that need to be repaired. You get kind of excited because you're thinking, hey man, this is a deal. This is a deal for us. Okay, you guys know I love mechanicals, and we got great mechanicals here. We got this excellent circuit breaker unit here. The master panel looks great. I wish it was labeled better. Main kitchen is on 200s. Oh, that's that's literally the main. That's 200 in. That's like the total in. I don't think that. Yeah, that feeds the whole freaking house, my friend. But like here, you got a 60 paired up. Anyway, 60 and 30 paired up there. So those are big things running in the house that aren't labeled. No big deal. It all looks good. It looks clean. The water heater we see right here, we can't see very well. It looks old, looks very dirty. It's electrical. This is an electric line coming in, so it's not a gas water heater, it's electric. And I think I see a drain line coming off the bottom, which would be up to code, but it looks old. I don't know about that. They show me a label, but unfortunately the label does, whoa. This water heater complies with the standard of 1999. I don't know when the water heater was actually made. I don't see that. Yeah, don't see it. Now, outside, they had another breaker unit main panel out here. So I think they got one out here, and maybe they have an external building or two that they're feeding from here. So one goes to the main house. That's that main 200 amp in that we saw. But these are just big 60s and stuff and hundreds. Yeah, these just go to like a building or something. But wow. Yeah. Anyway, I think this is kind of dispersed to different spots as it comes into the property. And then what we saw before is the main unit in the property. There she blows. Now, one thing that you see here, big red flag. There's these tabs on the roof. These were installed to hold solar panels. And you're hoping there's no solar lien on this house, like a $30,000 loan for solar panels, because these solar panels are gone. Like they may have put them in 20 years ago or something. And, it's just weird to see this. That's the aftermath of having solar panels up there on the top. Yeah, that's a problem. We're going to have to fix that. And I think that's going to require a little bit of roofing work. Maybe a new roof. I don't know what that does to your roof. And we can't see the roof. What did they say about the roof? They said 1 year old. 1 year old. They're saying it's a new roof. All right, out here in the field. We're farming. This looks like a Monet or a Matisse photo. Picture, see? So pretty. I'm just kidding. All right. Yard. This is part of the garage. It's falling apart, but they dwelled on that for a moment. So more yard. Is this just part of the house, that garage, or is this a separate building? Yeah, I think there's some cars out there. Maybe they're part of the deal. So much grass. We could bale hay out here. What do you see there? Freaking solar panels were on the roof, and they're all just sitting around the house. Just how depressing. They had the dream of living with electricity provided by the sun, and it fell through. Now, one thing I like here about this place is that condenser unit looks good. This electrical input stuff looks good. Like the mechanical stuff, it seems like they really cared about that. This weird little building that we've seen in a couple of the photos is actually a massive doghouse. Maybe a goat house. I don't know. You could put something pretty big in there. You could put a child in there. I don't recommend it, but you could. You could call it a 4-bedroom. All right, we're out looking at the... Oh, wait. This is the condenser unit outside. We looked at it before. We do not see a year on it. You could probably do a little research on that with serial numbers and model numbers and kind of get a better idea of the year. I do think it looks pretty good, so I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, look at that thing. That's a champ. Man, if every house I looked at had a condenser unit like that, I'd be so excited because that thing looks good. That thing looks good. Even if it wasn't good, I could fix it. Like if there's a compressor or a fan or something in there that's not right, man, we could fix that. That thing's got years left to go on it. We're outside now on the back porch. What I don't see is any cracking. I'm kind of looking for cracks in the brick to see if the foundation is okay. Major cracks in the concrete, I don't see those. What do we see here? They redid some trim work around the door here. That needs to be painted. If you don't paint wood, it is going to age and bad things are going to happen to it. Paint it. Paint it with that paint. Look at that paint. That paint put on there and it's going to last for 100 years. Don't know what I'm looking for. I think I'm looking at a storage little thingy up the garage or carport. Okay, what's happening in the house is they are getting the popcorn off the ceiling. They scrape. Get all that popcorn. Oh, such a mess. When I do it, I wear a mask and I look like I'm going into like a COVID thing or whatever. All right, so more scraping on the ceiling. Now you're going to see something kind of unusual, may I say weird, in this house as we go along, because we know that there's this popcorn, and it's not even good popcorn. Honestly, it's I don't know. There's some kernels up there, but not a lot of pops. Something kind of weird about the ceiling. And then the texture is kind of crazy. You're going to see that thing up close. And look at that texture around it. That's not good, my friends. That's not what we want in a house. We want a modern texture. We don't want weird. Weird. This looks like you're on a steamship and you feed the wood into the thing to keep it going, steam up the ship. The brick, I think it would be better if it wasn't painted, but they painted it, so it's going to be painted. We're not going to take that off. Kitchen needs new appliances, new countertop, backsplash is okay, and I think you could save the cabinets. Got a crazy fan up there with a bunch of blades. But look, we're getting closer to what I wanted to show you on the look on the ceiling. So they took the texture off, and some guy said, I know how to do this really cool texture. I just kind of take the blade and I kind of jab it in the smooth texture, and it's cool. He was wrong. That's not cool. That does not look cool, my friends. You don't want that. You don't want that on your ceiling. And they did it all over this house. So the work that was done to it is worthless and needs to be redone. It doesn't matter to me, though, because this is a full cosmetic. We have to do full cosmetic on the house. So I don't care about this stuff. But I do care about the fact that, you pretty much got to do a kitchen. You got to do bathrooms. You got to do all the walls, all the ceilings. Walls, ceilings, floors. The whole thing has to be done. So we really need to load up on cosmetic when we go into this place. I think you could save these cabinets. Some people kind of like that more simple look of just kind of that square frame on the outside, as opposed to like a more detailed look in the trim. Some people really like that, and it can be really clean. In gray, I think that would look sweet. Looks good. Love to see it. Thank you. Got a switch too. That's so sweet. I can switch that off, pull that out, replace that, fix that. Do all that in 10 minutes, man. It's so easily accessible. I love that. All right, so I'm going to move along because there's so many pictures, and I just wanted to show you that ceiling. I won't talk much more about it, but I'm just going to say it sucks. That's horrible. We don't want it. That ceiling is no bueno. We're going to replace that. It's going to have to be replaced. So somebody went in there and did all that work to take all that popcorn out, and they did that. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm seeing down here. I just figure all new flooring. All new flooring. Yeah, I'm not 100% on that. Hey, we're done with the photos. Let's jump to the calculator. What do we got here? We have full cosmetic, and I throw in full general repairs. That gives me 34K on a 2,000 square foot house to do the cosmetic. I'm going to do a 0.25 on the plumbing because I'm pretty sure we're going to do some plumbing work in there, and we redo the bathrooms and kitchen. They said the roof was great and no known issues with everything else. The roof has a problem, my friends. It's got little tabs all over it. I don't know what that's going to cost to fix. I just got to throw some money in there on it. If I don't, I think it would be not a good idea. And so let's see, everything else we didn't see the inside stack, the air handler, furnace, what is it? Evaporator coil. We didn't see that stack on the inside. I wish I'd seen that. I could have maybe assessed it a little better. I'm a little worried about things like water heater and stuff like that. I don't know. Water heater's only about $700. I might go to like 0.4 here just for that. They're telling me nothing on the HVAC. I'm going to believe them for right now. What do we got? We got 43K of repairs. Typically, like on a house it's 2,000 square feet, if I can get in there with over 40 to 45 in my expense budget, I can do some nice things with a house like that. So, yeah, I would want to have a conversation with them about the things that we don't know. The house needs so much cosmetic work. I'm a little worried I might be low, but I don't know. Like, let's say I thought I was low and I was worried. I might go to 1.25. That's like 125% of my normal cosmetic budget. Remember, 1 is 100%, 0.25 is 25%. You get that, right? These are just levers that we're adjusting to determine, how bad is something, how much does it need to be repaired. And I am worried about, redoing all the texture in the house. So I threw a little bit more on that. But here's the end. Let's do the calculation. We think the ARV is 288 times 70%. The discount factor is 201. Our repairs are 48,268. That takes us to a cash offer of 153,403. Unless there's something I don't know, this thing is a smoking deal. This thing is a smoking deal. We got 153 in our model, and they want 139.5. Now, as long as you don't mind owning or managing a home up in Denison, up there in that northern part of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, where I lost Denison. There it is. There it is. It's way up there. It's got a Taco Bell. Come on. It's going to be great. You're going to enjoy it. Look, I think it's worth about 150. And they want about 140. I think this is a good deal. That's just where I'm going to come up on this thing. Like, if I got in there and actually started looking at some things and finding, that there was more major work in the big five, like the electrical or the HVAC or the foundation, well, yeah, that changes the numbers. But right now we got another, $14,000 of room to deal with to fix the place up. I'm going to call this a good deal. Fazio, awesome. You hit a home run with that one. That house in Denison at 152 Riverboat Drive. Thank you so much, Fazio, for being our victim today. Hey, guys, go to cashoffermasterclass.com. Click on Get the Calculator. Fill out that form. You'll become part of my community. I'll send you the calculator. And if you have a wholesale deal, we'll connect it and we'll go through the value of your deal together. I need photos. I love videos. Show me the mechanicals. I need all that stuff. But if you can show me everything, I can help you value your deal. And that'd be a great education for the other folks that are watching the videos. So thank you so much. Go to Cash Offer Masterclass to do that and to catch up on the videos. I'm not caught up on posting them. We're at episode 16 here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying learning about these properties. And just once again, I want to thank Fazio for being our victim. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Take care.